Hello, folks, and welcome to FSEN Daily. And as you can see, it's Game Time 915. Folks, we are on the cusp of a lot of games being played here in the borderland today. And we're going to just go through some games real quick and kind of give you guys a standing on where we are and kind of where things are going, right? So let's jump right into it. We're going to start with high school volleyball, right? Let's look at the BSR top 10. So our top 10 teams: Eastlake, Eastwood, Isleta, El Paso High, Franklin, Burgess, Del Valle Americas, Chapin, and Da Vinci. Eastwood did knock off Eastlake earlier this week, so it'll be interesting to see how we do these rankings for next week. It all depends on how games go today for sure. Now let's look at the volleyball standings. We've got Alpine High School leading 4-3A. You've got YWA, Young Women's leading, tied with Austin for 1-4A. 2-4A, you got Isleta at the top, then Riverside and Fabens. And we lost our graphic. It happens. We'll get that back up here in a minute. But we want to kind of go through and so let's look at the top 10 games, top 10 teams here playing volleyball here in the borderland today. Because like I said, there's about 11 volleyball games going on. And then there are several top 10 teams right now. Franklin and Eastwood are going at it. That game was slated for 2:35 p.m. Still haven't gotten any confirmation on who won that game. Young Women's played, number 10 Young Women's plays Austin at 6:30. You got number 8 El Paso High taking on Jefferson at 6:30. You got number 9 Burgess taking on Andrus at 6:40. And you got number 5 Chapin hosting Canutillo at 6:40 as well. And I'll tell you, folks, a lot of those games will have some playoff implications. Right now, Chapin's in the driver's seat in 2-5A, and they control their own destiny, to be honest with you. They went out. They are the district champions, and we are only a few more weeks left in the season before we get ready for playoff action here. So good luck to each and every one of those teams, and kudos there. Let's see. Let's get this back up here. Chapin leading 1-5A, I'm sorry. Then you got 2-5A is Del Valle and Americas. And then 1-6A is Eastlake and Eastwood tied at the top. They've played each other. They split. So unless one of them slips up and has a loss, we're going to see a tie probably in 6A. So kudos to each and every one of you teams. Now let's transition this thing over to football. There's a lot of football action going on here and around the borderland today, for sure. Started off with number 10 Chapin plays El Paso High at 7 p.m. That's a big playoff game. Chapin is in the driver's seat. They control their own destiny right now, having already played Andrus. They've got Canutillo coming up next week. That game will be live on FSEN, only on FSEN, so download the app and tune in and watch. Then we got number 9 Canutillo going up against Jefferson. Jefferson, that's a must-win for Canutillo. They want any hopes of continuing to get an outside shot at this district title, so they've got to continue to win as well. Then you got San Elizario and Riverside. Riverside at number 8, 3-0 in the district. Number 7 is Letta takes on Fabens. 3-0 is Letta takes on 3-1 Fabens. Number 6, Del Valle takes on Hanks. That is everybody's trying to make this out to be a big game. Hanks by at least, I'm sorry, not Hanks. Del Valle by at least 3 touchdowns. You heard it here. Del Valle by at least 3 touchdowns. We're gonna call it. We're gonna say it with no shame in our game. Del Valle at least 3 touchdowns. Then you got Pebble Hills and Montwood. This is an interesting game here. Yeah, Montwood has not won a game. Pebble Hills is 4-1. Folks, I gotta tell you that Montwood offense is explosive. I have gone on record as saying that Montwood would not win a game. I have gone on record as saying that, but this could be an interesting game. Montwood could produce some problems for Pebble Hills. Don't be surprised if at the end this is a very close game, but we're going to say Pebble Hills wins it in the end. Then we got number 3 El Dorado versus Parkland. We're going to say at least 3 touchdowns for El Dorado in this win and this game. And then the game of the day. Folks, I got to tell you something. Number 2 Eastwood travels from the east side to the west side to take on number 1 Franklin. Now, I don't think I got to say this, but this is going to be a tale of 2 teams. And I say this in this way. Franklin's is heavy run-based offense led by Ernie Powers. And Eastwood is this balanced offensive attack. Their quarterback takes care of the ball. They can run the ball. They've got dynamic wide receivers who can catch the ball and make things happen. And I think Franklin's issues they've had in the secondary the last couple of weeks, if they haven't cleaned those up this week, this could be a long ball game for the number 1 team in the borderland. But now also we'll say this. If Eastwood has any problem stopping the run, it's going to be a long ball game for them. So you got 2 opposing wheels that are about to happen, and it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Let's go through the standings real quick. You got Compass Academy leading 2-3A. Isleta and Riverside tied atop 1-4A. El Dorado leads 1-5A. You've got Andrus sitting atop 1-5A. Andrus has an off week this week, which is why all these other games are so huge. With Chapin and Del Valle tied for second, and Canutil and Tank sitting right there. Right now, Hanks is on the outside looking in for a playoff spot, I got to tell you. And Canutil, Del Valle, Chapin, Andrus are all jostling to see who's going to get that 2 seed to get possibly a home playoff game. So that's going to be interesting as well to see how that pans out. This is probably one of the most interesting districts here in the borderland. And then the other one is 1-6A. Now you got Eastwood and Franklin sitting at the top, and they go head-to-head today. Then you got Pebble Hills sitting there at 1-0, and then everybody else has got losses. So, and then Eastlake is 1-1. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all pans out. We got about 3 more weeks of high school football as well. So a quick wrap up. If you're looking for a game to go to tonight, if you're looking for volleyball, I'm going to tell you that Franklin versus Eastwood game at Eastwood, which is going on, I think that's going on right now, was a good one to see. And then I got to tell you, Chapin and Canutil or El Paso High and Jefferson are 2 very intriguing games that if you're a volleyball fan, you might want to try to catch those. Then on the football side, just because of playoff implications, the El Paso High Chapin game is really, really huge. Let's see if Chapin cannot have a letdown after the big win they had last week against Del Valle. And if they can not do that and not have the letdown and win, they are in the driver's seat for themselves there. I tell you, it's going to make that interesting, very good. Same with Kenyon Jefferson. Like, Kenyon needs this game. I think they have no issues. I think they win by at least 3 touchdowns. Riverside, St. Louis, not so much. But if you're going to go to any game tonight, if you're on the west side, Franklin versus Eastwood is the place to be. And if you're in central east side, you got Del Valle, Hanks is a really good game. And then that Montwood Pebble Hills game at the SAC is going to be an interesting one, to say the least. But, hey, that has been our wrap-up for today. We kind of try to get in quick, give you guys an update of what's going on, show some things, and jump back out. We do got one last shout-out, Player of the Week. To close out this week again, goes to Chapin High School's Davion Singleton, who had a huge game in their upset victory over Del Valle last week. He is the Week 7 Player of the Week, brought to you by P2C Athlete Prep here at Fieldhouse FSEN Daily and the GameTime 915 show. So, folks, as we wrap up here, we just want to thank you guys for your continued support. Continue to watch the content. Go to the website, go to the app. That's where you can get the majority and the most up-to-date information. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Be blessed. Have a good weekend. Get out there and support some high school sports. I'm out.